Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 coming at you with another Transformers video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at another one of the 13 primes from the Age of the Primes. This time it's going to be Micronus Prime. And I'll be honest, this guy was not high on my list of primes I was excited for. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to have him. I don't think he's a horrible toy, but he's definitely not like one of my favorites. There's a lot about this toy that I feel is either not great or kind of lackluster. Probably like in my bottom three as far as which primes I'm like excited for or have been excited for. But he's still okay. But we'll start with a quick look at the box. We do have the micronus there riding the armor in its motorcycle mode, and then we do have the armor in the background with micronus there in his robot mode. Do have the Chimera Stone, I believe is the name, right there. Here we have more of that artwork with the armor in the back and micronus. There's the Chimera Stone, and then we get our prime statues on this side. All R1, deluxe class. We got our legal jargon and just his name on the top, and here we have our product shots. So yeah, we get a look at all the different things. For a second I thought that said 1 instead of 7. I was like, 1 step, it's not a flip changer. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it for the box. We do get our lovely instruction booklet here, and I'm holding it upside down. But yeah, and there is that. But yeah, I don't know, maybe it's because like we're basically getting a god of minicons as a parts farmer slash armorizer, and we're not getting a lot of minicons either. Maybe that's just soured me on the whole idea a little bit. I don't know for sure, but I will say that's probably not helping his case. Really wish we were getting more minicons, and we've pretty much gotten like the one with Hotshot, and then we're going to be getting that 3-pack with that Nemesis Prime, which I'm still very torn about whether I'm going to get that or not. So, but I do think the design of the armor is pretty neat. Does kind of have like a bit of an Apex armor vibe with how it kind of surrounds Micronus there. And we do have his little Chimera Stone here. Kind of have to open this up to get nail in there. But it is just the little thing in there is a teeny tiny little Micronus Prime emblem. It's probably not even going to show up here. Don't think it's going to focus. But there is a teeny tiny little emblem there in the very center. And it does just plug into any 5mm port, and the main one for it being this one right here in the middle. So there's that. As far as the figure, the armor, there is a little bit of head movement, but it's really restricted by this whole platform it's attached to and the fact that it's just on a hinged platform. We do get up at the arm, we do get a 360, but there are these wheel mounts in the back that honestly they could have been like a cool like VTOL jetpack thing, but they're the way they're angled and how they move, they just kind of collide with everything more than anything else, so that's a bit of a bummer. We do get the bicep swivel, we do get 90 degrees at the elbow, we do get a full wrist rotation, which is nice. He does have the angle to hold stuff. Do I have a don't have like a blaster over here. I guess I can put this. Actually, I know what I can do. He has a fire sword. So yeah, you can give him any 5mm port weapon. We do get that far out at the side. We get that far forward at the leg because of this like armor piece colliding. Do get about that far back before the backpack collides. There's a lot of collision here. Do get a thigh swivel. They did do a pretty cool job with the panels on the knee, kind of like moving to leave it still covered. That's kind of cool. Do get very significant ankle. What else? Is that everything? We don't really get a waist. I'm not even sure if that's moving or if it's just... Yeah, no, that's just how it's locked in. But, yeah, if we do open this up, we do get this giant Minicon disc that's really stuck in there for some reason. There we go. And that's Micronus Prime as a Minicon disc, and he does have the Minicon emblem painted on him, which I thought that was going to be like his symbol, but no, it's a little different. Because honestly, this little thing on here looks more like a bat symbol. But yeah, we could just close that up for now and do that. And yeah, the big downer with this is he's almost entirely clear plastic, so he is going to be very delicate. But it does look nice. It's painted nice, and they did do the silver on clear plastic, which I will admit does look very good. I just don't think it's, you know, worth making an entire toy out of clear plastic for. But his transformation is pretty simple. We just want to bring these parts out to the side like so, and then we can wiggle these up for his arms. Make sure those go all the way up. Rotate these foot pieces around, and they are just sculpted at a slant. Bring the arms down, and then we just want to rotate that head 180, and there we have Micronus Prime in his little robot mode. So there he is next to his armor, and we'll go ahead and do a couple comparisons now. Here he is next to an actual Minicon. Move these guys back a little bit. Hey, stop it. Here we have next to Retro Gears for a smaller deluxe comparison. Then we'll just bring in a couple of his brothers with Prima and Megatronus. So there we have all three size comparisons. Or size classes, I should say. But now, again, this is a technically weaponizer, and he does parts form for the transformation of the armor, which I wouldn't say I'm super upset about the parts forming for transformation, considering just like that this is a suit of armor more than the actual robot. Because like when it's like a trailer or something that like comes apart to form like armor or super mode, that doesn't bother me. It's like the Bumblebee's butt coming off to form a shield kind of parts forming that really bothers me more. Or, you know, having a hunk of stuff that, like, if this didn't transform at all, I probably wouldn't like that, sort of like the G1 Optimus trailer tends to do, which, like, there is something to be said about, you know, the accuracy, but I think I have enough plastic rectangles sitting in a bin now, thank you. But yeah, as far as the little dude's articulation, he's pretty much all ball joints. Ball joint at the shoulder, ball joint at the elbow. We do have a hinge and a hinge for the hips, and then a ball joint at the knee. And then his head is actually on a little ball joint, although due to the way his chest is shaped, you don't really get much side-to-side stuff, and you can fold his head back, although there's not really any point to it. But yeah, that's the articulation for the little dude. And then, yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and get to the part where we rip this guy to pieces. So, the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to open this up, take off that little stone. We are going to rip his arms off. We're going to come here to the waist and just attach this we're gonna fold in the head. And they did show like this combining with what was it, Fireflight. And honestly, I think as far as a weaponizer goes, he's pretty not great. I don't see myself using him with any of my current figures. And honestly, that's one of the reasons I ended up getting rid of a lot of my fossilizers, because while I thought the whole dinosaur like combination bit looked really cool at first, they never really matched up with anything, and I could never really get the figures to combine with each other very well, so I'm not really a big fan of the whole weaponizer thing. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But we fold these up, and then we want to bring this whole assembly here up like so, and then bring these in and fold it down so that they get around these pieces. We'll set that to the side. And for the legs, for the weaponizer bit, this is the little peg that you use to pin them onto stuff, but for this you want to have it folded in. You want to bring down the toe and straighten it out and clip it in, and then you're going to fold this whole thing. I think I need to, yeah. You want to have this out so you can fold this whole assembly up. You do want to rotate it so that these tabs are facing inward. Then you can fold this back in so it's tucked away. And we're basically just going to reverse this like this. And then we're going to fold down that toe the same way. And then just get that hooked in there. And then we're just going to collapse this all together. And I'll tab in. And now we have our giant unicycle tire. And it does have 4 blast effect ports for whatever you may wish to do with that. And one thing, another distraction here, but I don't like that there are no blast effect ports on the fingers that are literally supposed to look like gun/exhaust ports. Like, why not there? Why is there nothing here? Like, at least put one on the middle. But anyway, so now we're going to come over here, and as you can see, there are 4 little ports or posts on this spinning spool, and there are 4 of these, and you basically just line it all up and just squish them in there, plug it all together. Then you bring the other side over and just connect those in the same on the other side, and make sure that they all are tabbing in. And there we go. Make sure that that's spinning freely. And then we're going to bring these down, and this little tab right here is going to go into this silver part. There's a little slot there. So we just bring this and tab them in. Tab them in. And then we literally just take these arms and plug them onto this back port here, like so, and like so. And then for the stationary bike, oh, I did these on the wrong side, because there's like a kickstand stationary bike thing mentioned in the instructions. For that, you just bend the elbows and it'll sit there like so. And of course we can just put this on wherever you so choose. There's plenty of ports along the sides. Would have liked it if there was like a way to like plug it in the front here or something, make it a little more symmetrical, but whatever. And then to put Micronus on, you just want to rotate his arms around so that his fists are facing forward, and you just hook them onto these handlebars. Put them on, and then you can just sort of put him in a riding position, and there he is riding the little motorcycle. And you can use the arms to push it along And yeah, the wheel definitely doesn't roll the absolute best. The hinges are a little tight on these things, so it's if you give it some pressure, it'll roll, but it's not gonna like roll freely. Yeah. So, but yeah, I probably should show off the weaponizer part, so we'll go ahead and just take him off the top. Oh, before I do that, we'll do a couple comparisons. Here is with Retro Sea Spray. And there you are. And here he is with Generic Seeker. So, but yeah, since he's who I have over here, we'll bring in Prime of Prime. We'll just take these arms off. Let's stick them on his own arms so he can have armature arms with arms that are armed. So there's that. And then I'll pop this open. Pop this open. Come on, let go. Come on, there we go. And we'll just push this back, open these up, and let's see. Well, that's a good way to connect this. Does he have a port on his butt? Not the right size of port on his butt. We'll plug it onto his back here because we can, and then we'll open up the tire, flip out that port, and we'll you know what, we'll plug it onto his foot. He can have a giant wheel foot. Be standing on a hockey puck. But yeah, like I could see these working as like guns if they maybe had blast ports on them. And obviously this is supposed to be a shield because everything that's, you know, a big hunk of plastic that we don't know what to do with is a shield. And then there's literally this hunk of crap that like really just is what's left, and it looks stupid. I don't like the weaponizer stuff. You know, I know that there are some that are really popular, but those are the ones that were all long gone by the time I came back to collecting, so I don't have any of those. And then, yeah, I tried the fossilizers like I mentioned, but honestly, they just fell flat for me, and this is just a sad reminder that I don't think the weaponizer stuff works in the broad sense, like outside of a few specific figures that like match well with like certain characters or things like that. I do think the unicycle thing is kind of neat. But yeah, overall, this, like, I wasn't super excited for this one, and having it in hand has not really improved my opinion of it. I think, you know, I'm glad to have a representation of micronus, because I do still plan on getting all of the 13 primes. But yeah, I'm not really looking forward to, like, Nexus and, what's his name? Amalgamus. Amalgamus, I'm, like, skeptical but hopeful that he'll be a bit more interesting because of all those little, like, bits and pieces that can form, like, a bunch of mini vehicles. That one looks at least somewhat interesting. Nexus, I mean, I'm really going to have to see, but considering what I've heard about the old one versus the new one just being like a regular Voyager, something tells me he's just going to be like really bare bones, and I'm not super excited for him right now. All the other ones I've liked to some degree, but yeah, this guy's not terrible, but I definitely don't consider him like a high priority if you're, you know, being selective about what you're getting. If you're not looking to collect all the Prime figures that are coming out in the Age of the Primes, I think this one's probably the easiest skip so far. Like, even I like the God, what's his name? Vector Prime, the Rector Prime. The Vector Prime that was retooled from the G-Axis mold, I liked that one a lot more than most people. But then again, I never had the original, so I feel like that probably played a part in it. But like this one, like, I don't know. Between not getting any real minicons, like hardly at all, and the weaponizer thing, and then throwing stuff like the rising prices and the fact that this isn't a character I'm attached to, like, really at all, like, this one just really, really falls flat for me. I think at best I can give it like a 5. And yeah, if you're not trying to get the whole set, this is probably so far the easiest pass out of the 13 primes. Yeah, especially with, the main, figure being entirely clear plastic. So he's basically going to be more of a display piece. And then the armor is just, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not really thrilled with this one, so I can't really say I recommend it too much. It's just kind of this one is more of a check the boxes pickup, and with how expensive things are getting, even that's really pushing pushing things at this point. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. You're welcome to disagree. I'd actually love to hear if you like this. Tell me what you like about it. I'm really curious to hear what other people think of this, because I know there are some people out there who were like super excited for this figure and his super unicycle of murder death, but it's just not doing it for me. Just not doing it for me. But I'll go ahead and stop mumbling about it and wrap up this review. So this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.